Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm trying on some of the new things I picked up during the recent Sephora sale. If you haven't already seen it, I will link the video for you in the description box down below, as well as right here, where I go through and I unbox everything in my Sephora order. Here's where I tell you I placed a second order, and I'm trying so hard not to place a third because the day I'm recording this is the 23rd. 24th is the last day of the sale, and by the time this goes up, sale will be over. And I'm just hoping and, crossing my fingers and holding my breath and making sure I get all the way through the end of the sale without placing a third order. But in my next order, I have the Bosma foundation coming and a couple of eyeliners. But let me tell you what I already have on right now, and it's this. This is the new Shade Slick Gelée Tinted Lip Oil from Merit. This is different from their original tinted lip oil formula. Packaging is the same, the doe foot is the same, but this, I think you can see it here, it looks just a little like thinner, lightweight. This one has a little bit, and not that it's more tinted, it's just that this one looks more like a jelly formula, hence the gelée. The one thing that I'll tell you, I was worried because I placed the order for this, I was so excited, I'm like, those look amazing and delicious, and I like the way it looks here. I was worried, you see how almost hot pink the wand is? This is a pH adjusting element to the ingredients. And I noticed I've been wearing this probably the most since it came, I don't know, 5 or 6 days ago. And by the end of the day, my lips do have a very dedicated pink. Not quite hot pink, but like very pink lean to them. This is a shade Mapleton, and this is supposed to be a sheer brown. And it's such a lovely shade, and it's super comfy and super plush. This is what the shade looks like, but once that pH adjusting element kicks in, you're getting more of this sort of look. And I've been wearing it for several hours right now. I don't feel like it's as aggressively like shade shifting as some other things. One that I instantly think of, and I only have one shade and I'm not interested in getting any more and I'm looking for it. Where are you? Is this Hourglass lipstick. This is the Unlocked lipstick. I have the shade Dahlia. This is a really pretty nude shade, but on me, there must be something in here that's pH adjusting because it turns my lips hot pink at the end of the day. This is just lightly pink, not like crazy pink. But what I like about this, and I feel is different than this is a little thinner, a little more oil-like. This has that kind of cross between an oil and a gloss feel to it, but it's not really thick and heavy. I would say like the Fenty Gloss Bombs are a lot thicker, a lot heavier, but this has a nice weight to it without being heavy. It's not sticky. It doesn't end up feeling like it's too much. It's just really comfortable. It's easy to forget that you're wearing it until all of the gloss kind of soaks in and you're left with lips that are hydrated but not like juicy and plump, and then you're like, oh yeah, that stuff felt really good. So I have been liking this a lot, but I'm gonna take it off because I have another product that I picked up that I have thoughts about. I'm gonna throw this on. This is the other nourishing kind of lip treatment that I picked up during the sale. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler Plumping Gloss. And this is one of those products, it really does have kind of like a slight tingle to it. I do like the shape of the applicator. This is the Cherry Vanilla. The one thing I have to be careful of here is that I don't over apply. Because this is one of those, I feel like that's just enough, a light pass over the top and the bottom. I am a chronic over applier, and this is a product, another one that I've been wearing a lot since it came, that it has the ability to kind of heavily sink into the corners and then it collects there, or it collects where my lips touch, and then I have that kind of stringy, pulley look, which I really don't favor. It does have a little bit of a kind of like a tingling going on the lips, and it has a really pretty, like when you really get a nice thick layer over it on your lips, oh, they look so plump and juicy, but then it starts to string and pull. So I don't know. I do like the way my lips feel after this is kind of soaked in. It's very nourishing. It feels really good. My lips look amazing as long as I'm not talking, then it's like cheese pool city. But I feel like at this amount, like one quick thin pass over both, if that's how you wear it, you would probably really like it. As my lips get a nice little plumping from this Lawless Filler gloss, as well as get some nourishment, let's throw on some coverage, because oh my God, I covered this. I haven't had a breakout in months, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, maybe I'm doing really good, and I'm like, Okay, so I picked up two concealers. I picked up the mini size, and I didn't know it was gonna be this mini. It feels like the size of makeup that would be appropriate for a doll, like the American Girl dolls. Like my kids had those dolls growing up and I was like, oh look, it's toy size. And the new one from Tom Ford. This is the soft matte, what is it? The Traceless Soft Matte Concealer. All right, lightest shade in this is Blanc. I think this is the lightest shade. This is Birch. If I'm wrong, I'll make a note of it on the screen for you. But I wanted to get the mini size. This was $18. This was $16. Now remember, I got my 20% off, but still, they're not inexpensive concealers. But at this point, I don't care how much you cost. You just must be amazing. I'm 48 years old. I have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles under here. I have, in the wintertime, this skin under here can get very dry. I want something that's not going to settle into the creases. I want something that's going to not make me look older. I want something that is going to give me coverage, because you do see I have these really big, deep, dark circles. I normally put corrector down. I'm not going to do that today. And I'm kind of wondering, do we use like one on one side, one on the other? Here's what I'm gonna do, just because it's what I need right now. I'm gonna take the smallest little dab of this and cover up what I got going on in my face here, and I'm gonna decide how I'm gonna proceed. Because my goal is, that's probably too much. My goal is not to wear foundation, but to use these products to give coverage where I need them. So just because this was making my heart really unhappy, that was too much. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, well, yeah. I don't know, I might need some foundation just to blend these guys together. Let's just start by putting like the tiniest little dot here and here and see what sort of coverage we get. I would love to know what you picked up during the Sephora savings event. Did you restock favorites? Did you pick up things that had been kind of calling your name? Boy, this is really pigmented. Dude, this is like a lot. Okay, I'm gonna start sharing this around other places, because if I just keep this all here, I'm gonna look like that 2016, you know, triangle of concealer under my eyes, if I don't already. This is a lot. But it's doing a really good job of getting rid of discoloration. And I feel like it blends really nicely. That's a big difference from here to here. Okay. I don't know if this is what I should be doing, but I'm going to use the Tom Ford on the other side just because I have to know. And I'm going to start with like a little swipe here. I don't know that this is going to give me as much coverage as the one from Hourglass. I feel like Hourglass has a ton more pigment. Okay, a little bit here. I feel like I need just a little more here. I've only ever bought Tom Ford, like the cream shadows and the lipsticks in the past. I don't think I have any of those right now. I just haven't been into Tom Ford makeup because the prices are so exorbitant. And I felt like, because this is a concealer and it's $60, I feel just bad saying that. But to me, $60 is within what I would be willing to spend on a single item. The minute we're talking 90 or $100+ dollars, I'm like, what does it do? Does it do your makeup for you? But let me tell you, dude, the under eyes, they look good. And I guess what I'm looking for is something that is not going to break up under here. I feel like it is. Both of these have that soft feeling. They're not dry, but they're also not like so emollient. They instantly settle into the crinkles. Okay, I'm pretty impressed. Part of me wants to see what happens when I just do a little bit of this. I have a couple of hyperpigmentation spots on my face that bother me, and I'm just gonna lightly blend this in. I wonder, and tell me if you know, how this formula compares to the accompanying like foundation in a stick form. I know there is a soft matte foundation and it's like $90 or more, $95, and I was like, no, I've never paid that much for foundation. I mean, I've never paid $60 for a concealer, but still, I feel like it's doing a really good job of concealing, but not making it look like I've got concealer on. Oh, dude. I like the way that my face looks over here. Let's see if we can get it to match on the other side. I don't think this is very smart of me, you know, half concealer on one side and a different one on the other. But that's kind of where I'm at today. This is so pigmented. I'm gonna put like one dot here and like a couple of dots, and that's probably going to be too much, and we're gonna go from there. All right, because it's like a lot of pigment. This half of my face has the Hourglass Vanish concealer on it, and this side has the Tom Ford Stick Concealer on it. I feel like I'm not getting the sort of coverage I want here, so I'm gonna pick up a little bit just on my finger of the Tom Ford and just lightly tap it in. And I think it's just a consistency thing. I think that's all the hiding I am going to do today. You know, it's there until it's gone. And when it's gone, it'll be easier to cover up. I feel like both of these concealers are probably just a hair too light to be used all over the face, but probably be great just under the eyes. But I'm gonna make it work. So the next thing I need to do is set my face. And I picked up this new powder from Makeup Forever. This is their Twist in Light. And it's the one that has that really interesting packaging where it's like a donut, and I already twisted it. And it's basically twist it one way and then back, and it releases powder, and you've got 3 different colors in here. So it twists it and it drops it all at the bottom of the well, which is super interesting to me. So I'm just gonna grab a rougher number 19. I like that it kind of keeps it all contained there, but here's what's interesting. If I'm just looking at my eyes, I feel like I'm giving an even amount of product settling into the creases before I set it. And it's not a lot. It's like hardly visible at all. I feel like at this point, if I wasn't paying attention, I could just like powder my eyes and be good. But I feel like at this point, there's the smallest amount. So I'm just gonna make sure that it's tapped out before I bring this in. And I'm always looking for a powder that is not going to make my under eye look drier. This is supposed to be a slightly radiant powder. It's supposed to be, color correcting. I have the lightest shade in 1 Clair. So the Tom Ford side, there is also like the smallest amount of product in my, like probably the smallest amount, both of these. Most of the rest of my concealers go into those like fine lines faster than this. It's been like 5 or 7 minutes since I was doing my under eyes, because I was working on this and a couple of other dark spots around the face. I feel like both of these concealers are great for under the eye, because you're not gonna end up with too much product settling into the creases. It also doesn't look really dry on application. I like that. All right, so light whisper of powder all over the face. It doesn't add any age to my under eyes, but I feel like it's working just a little bit better here on the side with the Hourglass. And I feel like the soft matte side of the Tom Ford, I think had it been a little bit more emollient, it's looking just a smidge drier here, not a lot. I'm looking very Queen Elizabeth I, and I know that, don't worry. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is bring out this Soleil bronzer from Gucci. This is one where people either love it and say it's the best thing ever, or they're like, it's expensive and it doesn't do anything. So I'm super curious, super curious. I'm gonna pull out my Units 301 brush. This does come with its own little brush in here, but come on. I think this would be I'm in a pinch and I'm traveling and this is the only thing that's in here. So it's my just in case brush, but it's not my gonna use it brush. But I'm really curious to see what this looks like. So, you know, not clean anymore, but brush that has never had anything else on it. Kick off some of the excess and see if we can bring some color and life back to, oh my goodness. Oh, this is such a pretty color. It's got a little bit of a rosy shade to it. It's not like a orangey bronze, it's more like a rosy bronze. This would be something that I could see myself using just as like a one face color. Like I'm gonna bronze today and I'm going to do, that's it. And it would be this shade, this is such a pretty shade. I'm gonna put some bronzer up here on my forehead. This is what I needed. I needed to not look quite so pale, not quite so Elizabeth I. It has a very distinct scent to it. If you have any other Gucci makeup, this reminds me of the same scent that they put in their lipsticks. This smells like Gucci makeup, for sure, for sure. I feel like that brought life back to my face. Oh my goodness. This might be amazing. This is kind of spendy though. I think this was $65. All right, but so far I like. I grabbed a couple of blushes. I already know I love the formula of the Danessa Myricks Flush blushes. This is that Up to Light formula. Oh, and this is the shade Rose and Brunch. Look at that. The other one that I have is so bright. Where is it? Here's the one I already have in Golden Hour. This is the new one in Rose and Brunch. I think it's just gonna be a little bit easier for me to use daily. I mean, they're a really lovely formula. They blend so well. That's what I love about them, and they're matte. I like that. I just feel like if I'm not careful with the first one I got, I love the color. It's just a lot. It might be easier to wear in summertime, but I still don't have any extra color on my face. So for this, I'm going to load up my brush, bounce off any extra off the back of my hand because I don't want to get too much. I already have powder on my face and I don't want this to disturb that. And I'm just gonna lightly tap this on here. It's just such a pretty color. Boy, I'm already feeling like this might be too much color already. And I think it's just Danessa's products are wickedly pigmented. I did pick up another blush. This is a powder blush. This is the Laura Mercier Color Blush Infusion in the shade Chai. This is one of those that I really wasn't expecting to have it turn out to be this kind of pale pink, almost slight peach lean, because the image online looked really kind of like a rosy bronze shade, almost like a rosy brown. And this is like, whoa, I don't know. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of it, but I feel like this is gonna be a really easy blush because it doesn't really, you know, it's not too much. And I'll just kind of go right over the top of this and kind of set that Danessa Myricks cream blush. Now, I think it kind of sets on its own because it is that Up to Light formula, but I'm trying to use everything today that I got. There we go. I didn't pick this up during the sale, but I know a lot of people probably did. It's the highlighter from Rare Beauty. This is the shade Mesmerize. It's that pink one. It's really pretty. I'm gonna give myself just a little bit right here on the tops of the cheekbones. At this point, I take the time to wipe any excess off on the towel in my lap, and then I'm just gonna buff. I feel like if I don't take the time to buff this in, it can, on my nearly 50-year-old skin, look a little too obvious, a little too metallic. And when I do this and I kind of blend it in with the powder that's underneath, it looks a little bit softer. And I like the way that this looks more than this does. This is still a little too stark for me. I feel like that looks a lot more natural. That's what I'm going for. Not the stripe, but the soft blend. So in this Sephora order, I didn't order any eye makeup or brow makeup. So I'm gonna take just a minute to plop on some easy light makeup for my eyes and my eyebrows, and I'll be back to put on the last thing I ordered. I'd be totally happy to leave the house like this, but I did pick up one more lip product. This is the Painted Veil from Gucci's satin lipstick line. It's number 201. So I'm gonna take off this lip gloss. I'll tell you right now, it has a really kind of sticky feel. My lips feel very sticky, but I put on the smallest amount so I didn't get any kind of settling here in the corners or getting that white line. I found that when I over apply this shade in Cherry Vanilla from Lawless, I do get that kind of puddling into the corners, the white line around where my lips touch, and it kind of gets really goopy, really sticky. The one thing it also does that I like the look of is it completely smooths out. It's like a layer of glass on my lips. But that's me over applying. But I feel like this is just enough and it's really pretty. I have two other Gucci lipstick formulas. I have the Care and Glow one and I have the Sheer Voile one. This is the satin. I was this close to picking up one of the matte ones. I don't know, but I'm interested to see what this looks like and what this feels like. This is a $45 lipstick normally. I know everything is going up in price, but that's a lot for a lipstick. Here is a swatch of it on the back of my hand. On my lips, I feel like it pulls really peach. I do not prefer a peach lipstick. This shade is described as a rosewood satin. I always think of rosewood with just a little bit more mauve to it. This looks very kind of like a peach-based neutral. I don't know. I do like the way it feels on the lips. It feels creamy, it feels comfortable, it doesn't feel heavy. It does definitely have that scent that all Gucci lipsticks have. Like the other two that I have definitely smell like that. This Gucci bronzer has that same scent. So if you are familiar with what that is, it's a little floral, but I also can smell like the ingredients through this. It's not just straight up floral, but I can smell like the waxes and the oils that are in this lipstick. I like the way that it feels. I like the way that it applies. It doesn't drag, it doesn't catch. I think it looks really like it's gonna be nourishing and comfortable. I just don't know that this shade in 201 Painted Veil is for me. I think it's a pretty color, but it's not my favorite shade of lipstick to wear. This is like right on the edge, right on the fence of too peach for me. Now, I will look at it objectively and say it works well with this look, with the kind of more blushy, warm leaning blush and the warm eyes. I feel like it works really well. It's a good color for my skin tone, but I don't know. Now, I do like the formula. I feel the formula is nice. It is a creamy formula. It does feel comfortable on the lips. I feel like you're getting a lot of pigment for a satin or cream lipstick with one swipe. I think that's nice. It's not dry. It doesn't skip. It doesn't tug. It doesn't make my lips feel like overly dry. It's also not so emollient that it's kind of like instantly going places. This is really, I think the formula is nice. I just wonder if I would use this type of lipstick more if it was in a different shade. Now, I don't want to keep a $45 lipstick in the hopes that I'll use it. Do you know what I mean? But the other thing is, if I'm always wearing the same types of shades over and over and over again, I have, you know, way too many red lipsticks. Do I really need another red, like in the Gucci formula? Probably not. I should start branching out, but I want to make sure that at a $45 price point, even though I got it on sale, if I keep it, will I use it? I don't know, maybe I will. I don't think it's going to be as versatile as a pink leaning nude. And I don't know, when you hear the description rosewood nude, because that's what it says on the Sephora website. It says this is a rosewood satin. And the image of it looks, to me, a lot more rose here and a lot more peach here. Now, I know that we can't always trust like online swatches or online photos because they can be manipulated for color. And I feel like this is a nice formula, but this was not what I was expecting. And I very purposefully don't buy lipsticks or lip liners or lip glosses that have more of a warm lean to them, unless they're kind of like a rusty, like maybe an orangey red. And this is more of a peach lean. I don't know. I'm debating. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think I should keep it? Do you think I should exchange it for a shade that I would use more regularly? That's kind of where I'm leaning, but sometimes if I don't get myself out of my comfort zone, like who needs as many red lipsticks as I have? And you'll see my red lipstick declutter coming on Friday. It's a lot. But I feel like the formula is nice. I can see why people like it. I just wish there was a slightly kind of pinkier lean to this. Overall, I'm really happy with what I got. I feel like the biggest surprise for me today was this. I did not expect this to be so beautiful on its own. This is one of those products that I could see myself in the summertime reaching for just this as the only thing I put on my cheeks. No highlight, no blush, just this. Probably this and like in the crease of my eyes, a little bit of mascara, lip product, brows, and out the door. I think what's great about this is the tone is more of a pinky lean to it and not so much of a peachy or an orange lean. It's kind of like a rosy bronze, and that's what I'm liking. That's what I was hoping for this. I know I'm gonna get a ton of use out of this, and I really feel like these concealers, oh, they have me so intrigued. I'm curious to see how much use I'm gonna get out of this, because like one dot covers like a huge portion of my face. I think if I were to use all the product on the doe foot, it would be way more than I needed. And this one looks so natural. It's sheer and lightweight and so pretty. I'm curious to see what these look like when I use them with foundation, because today I just kind of spot concealed and then threw powder on top. This powder right here, I'm already loving the design of the packaging. You know, where everything falls to the bottom, you just twist it and all the powder comes out down here. I like that it's not making my under eyes look dry. I like that it's not making the rest of my face look dry. I think the only thing that is giving me even just a moment of pause is this right here. And it's the shade, not so much the formula. When my next Sephora box comes in, I will make sure to show you what I got and try those products on for you. But I would love to know, did you shop the sale? What did you get? Did you try something new? Was it good? Was it bad? Were you kind of like, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching today. Have an incredible day, and I will see you again soon.